Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Blacklogic. So Russia drone carried a very high explosive warhead that struck the protective shelter over Chernobyl's reactor 4, the very site of the catastrophic 1986 nuclear disaster. Now, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky reported significant damage to the structure. Though fortunately, radiation levels remained stable. The integrity of the nuclear plant stayed intact. The International Atomic Energy Agency confirmed that the explosion, but noted no breach in the internal containment. Now, this incident underscores the escalating tensions and the potential risks associated with military actions near sensitive nuclear sites. Now, was this intentional by the Russians? Maybe, probably so, because then no one can have the land of Ukraine, because then it would become radioactive and very harmful, and whether it be gamma rays, beta rays, or alpha radiation. These are all harmful to human beings, let alone microwaves, but definitely gamma, alpha, and beta are very harmful to the human body. So again, I believe that America, as we are in peace talks, trying to join these two European countries together, whether it be Ukraine and Russia, and not join them as far as shaking hands, but at least a peace treaty where we can have peace and stop supporting Ukraine. I believe this is the biggest ploy of Donald Trump, giving senseless billions of dollars to a country that we know cannot win without our support. That means we are forever in a bind of consistent support, given resources. When it comes to troops, we may not have troops on the ground, but we have troops that are advising the Ukrainians, because again, as Americans, we have a very, very long history of being in all different types of wars, stemming back from, the Civil War, the War of 1812. I mean, we have a lot of history. We have a lot of military tactics. We have advanced technology. So again, they wouldn't even be able to compete with Russia without United States of America's assistance and help, let alone the European Union. So again, hopefully when Trump gets these two men together, they can come to some agreement, some sort of deal in order to stop the loss of senseless life, let alone making Ukraine inhabitable when we're talking about nuclear holocaust, nuclear war altogether. So these are things that we're going to keep you updated on. If you're new to Blacklogic, please subscribe to the channel and hit that like sub button. Thank you very much. Now, Trump has announced plans to initiate nuclear arms control talks with Russia and China, aiming for an agreement that will cut defense budgets by half. He criticized the excessive spending on nuclear weapons by all three nations and emphasized the potential benefits of directing those funds to more productive uses. Trump highlighted that China's nuclear capabilities are expected to match those of the U.S. and Russia within the next 5 to 6 years. He extends to engage in these discussions once conflicts in the Middle East and Ukraine are resolved. And I've been stating this for the past couple of days, that the three most powerful nations is the U.S., Russia, and China, not even inputting, not even contributing to the nuclear arsenal that all of these countries have. Like literally, Russia, China, and the U.S. can destroy the world. We're talking massive amounts of nuclear stockpile, whether inert or have the actual warheads that are active, whether they be on submarines, naval destroyers, stealth bombers, from missile silos that are underground. We have them all. America, our own nuclear defense system, we have it covered on all three occasions. And don't get me wrong, I'm still trying to find out if America has a satellite. And this is something I probably will never make public, and I probably will never find out. But it's intriguing just to think, if America has a satellite that has nuclear capabilities, whether it be the propensity or the capability of dropping a nuclear bomb anywhere in the world undetected until it reaches 3,000 feet in the atmosphere before someone notices it, and they have a very slight chance of deterring that nuclear threat and stopping nuclear holocaust within that prospective region and or country. I thought about that. I thought about satellites also with nuclear rays, gamma rays that can destroy pinpoint buildings and pinpoint targets. I wonder if we have this technology. It's not far-fetched, is it? Again, we're talking about worldwide defense in America. Even though we're the most powerful country, there are other countries almost as powerful, and those other countries are Russia and China. So again, I think the only way that we stop when people have been, touting this rhetoric for a very long time of a nuclear holocaust and how these three countries can destroy the world. If we have other countries, and these other countries may have a small nuclear, bombardment within their stockpiles, is that we just get rid of all the nuclear weapons. And I know some of you are like, no country is ever going to get rid of their nuclear stockpile, their nuclear weapons. Even if they publicly say, yeah, you can come in and make all of our nuclear weapons inert. Okay, they won't be able to use, we're going to destroy them. We're going to put them out in space. We're going to bury them deep in the Mariana Trench in the ocean. We're all going to just put them there. That way the world can never be destroyed by nuclear bombs. Okay. I think a lot of us still believe there's certain countries, Russia and China, and even America. I think that we still will have one or two on reserve somewhere hidden. We may hide out somewhere in Alaska, one of these underground conclaves code where it can't be detected far underground, just as well as Russia and China. But again, I believe what he's doing is a good thing because nuclear weapons is nothing to be played with. And again, as long as you have nuclear power plants, you have the propensity, okay? You have the propensity of making nuclear weapons. So again, even the effort it shows a great sense of valor when it comes just having the talks of decreasing the nuclear footprint in all of these countries. Now, Vice President JD Vance has issued a very stark warning to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Come on, JD. Threatening the imposition of tougher sanctions and potential deployment of U.S. troops to Ukraine if Russia fails to negotiate a peace deal in good faith. So we know we have the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, over there, and he's trying to garner a deal by the way of Donald Trump. Donald Trump can't be everywhere, every place, making all the deals. He needs powerful people, strong negotiators, people who will understand, the histories, the current state of Ukraine and Russia, bringing these leaders, bringing these countries together in order to foster a peace treaty deal. JD Vance, I understand you are a military veteran and you're going to let these countries know the military prowess and power of America. Let's be political for a little bit longer. Let's talk peace for a little bit longer, but I can understand. Again, a lot of these threats are not empty. They hold weight. I don't think JD Vance said this as a one-off. I believe that him and the president have spoken, and he said, yeah, you can say that, or go ahead and speak freely of what may happen if these peace talks don't happen. We do not want to go to war with Russia. Because if America gets involved and support Ukraine with troops, I just want to let you guys know we have to look at the history. Anytime the Russians went to war, who assisted them with troops? The North Koreans, the Chinese. And now, because of the high poverty rate in India, a lot of Indian workers have come over to Russia they came over to Ukraine. They came over to Ukraine and now they're on the front lines of Ukraine. I believe there are some Indian people who are supporting the Russians as well behind the lines. Again, that's a lot of rhetoric that I've been hearing, that they're on both sides. But again, they're going to have other nations that are involved, and this can be the potential start of a World War III. And this is something that we don't. So we have to be a little more diligent, a little more delicate, okay, a little more political. I hate using the word political, but we have to be. We can't show our hand too far too soon. So we might just need to dial back the rhetoric just a little bit longer before we go out there and push these very tough talks about putting American troops on ground. Can we can we not be on the ground with troops, whether it be in the Middle East or Eastern Europe or any other continent except for America? Give us 5 years so we can reset, so we can refresh, okay? So we can have rest and relaxation for our American troops, okay? So again, I'm pushing for peace, whether it be in the Middle East or in Europe. I'm tired of senseless killing of everyone, and I hopefully you guys agree. Please leave your comments below. Now, of course, a lot of us, even myself, we're very happy when RFK Jr. has become confirmed. But again, me being happy has nothing to do with some of the things that he stated he was going to do. We're still waiting for those actions. We're still waiting for the proof and legislation and bills and administrative and policy and regulations change that he is due to propose to the government. And again, he's already been confirmed. He is the health security president there for the Health and Human Department. So again, we're waiting for him to do great and wonderful things because, you know, recently he has been confirmed, as I stated, as the U.S. Health and Human Service Secretary. He has outlined his priorities in an interview with Fox News host Laura Ingraham. He emphasized the need to make America healthy again. Now, that's what MAHA, you know, M-A-H-A, MAHA. But anyway, addressing the nation's health crisis, which I'm all for. He linked this to a broader spiritual crisis because Kennedy plans to focus on combating chronic diseases and mental issues associated with social isolation. He advocates for greater transparency regarding food ingredients. Thank you. I believe that we all can get on board with food ingredients that some of us can't even pronounce some of these chemical and preservative names that is absolutely killing Americans. And unfortunately, we are addicted to, but he intends to reform food assistance programs to prioritize healthier options, okay, while not banning or planning to ban vaccines. Now, when we're talking about these healthier options, whether you are on Section 8 or you receive food stamps and you're a TikToker and you work for the government, that seems like all sorts of government assistance and government benefits. What brings me to a story that I know that you guys will probably enjoy here of a welfare recipient who's also a TikToker. She gets paid off of that. She is a food stamp holder, EBT card holder. She's a Section 8 recipient, but she's crying about them stripping her benefits, even though she's an influencer. She has a government job. She's on Section 8. She gets EBT. Let's just see what she has to say regarding this.
They have taken my cash assistance totally away. They are telling me that Section 8 will no longer be paying 95% of my rent, only 10% of my rent. So I will have to pay a little over almost $4,000 a month, down to $88 a month. They are telling me if I want a review that I have to sell my car. So you're telling me if you were on welfare, food stamps, cash assistance, Section 8, you can't drive a nice car? They are forcing me to sell my brand new BMW, or I lose almost $4,000 in food stamps. Not only that, they have taken my cash assistance totally away. They are telling me that Section 8 will no longer be paying 95% of my rent, only 10% of my rent. So I will have to pay a little over $400 a month now instead of $60 a month. They cannot.
Wow. It looks like the Doge got you too, boo.
I don't mean to laugh, but I think that was just ridiculous. I believe that was ridiculous, people, because here you are complaining about government assistance being stripped away, even though you are an influencer, you work for the government, you receive Section 8 housing, and you're driving a 2024 BMW, and you're saying someone on Section 8, someone who's receiving food stamps, should not be driving a 2024 BMW? Absolutely not. I don't care if it is a Series 3, a 3 Series, a 5 Series, a 7 Series. You're driving a brand new BMW. See, BMW, Lexus, Genesis, Mercedes, McLarens, Bentleys, Rolls-Royce, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. We're talking about cars that are automatically luxury cars. They're automatic luxury cars. Do you know how much money or how many packages you have to put on a Honda Accord to make it a luxury vehicle? You have to literally get the top model of a Honda Accord for it to be luxury, with leather seats and heated and cooled seats and autonomous driving maybe, and adaptive cruise control, blind spot detection, massage chairs and all those things. And you're driving around a luxury car. And I don't even care what model it is. BMWs are expensive. Okay. And you're living in Section 8 housing? No, I've never seen any person. And I grew up where people that was literally across the street with Section 8 housing. We wasn't in Section 8 housing. We were in an apartment building, but they were in Section 8 housing. I've never seen them with any nice cars. Never. The nicest car I saw was a Honda Civic. And the other cars we call a bucket. If you guys are from the DC, Washingtonian area, not Washington State, but Washington, DC on the East Coast, you would know what I'm talking about. You know, we had all sorts of older cars that people who lived in Section 8 housing. There were Cutlasses and Caprice and Crown Victorias and these cars they used to call Rabbits. The nicest car you probably saw was a 3-year-old Honda Civic that had no dents in it. The color on it wasn't faded. The paint wasn't chipped. So when you're telling me you driving around in a brand new 2024 BMW and you're on Section 8 and you receive food stamps, you can miss me with that. That means that you have more money than you put off. That means that you're not reporting something that you should if you can go out and buy a 2012. That means that your credit score is good. That means that when they check your finances, that they see that you have enough money coming in and that your debt to income ratio is low. So again, you have all this accounted for money for you to own a BMW, one of the most basic luxury cars, okay, that you can essentially buy. You know what? I wasn't going to do this, but just for the sake of argument, let's type in BMW. Because again, she had a brand new BMW, and I'm just going to try. We're going to try to find the cheapest BMW that we can find. Okay, we're not going to even do an electric car because again, a lot of these cars are now turning electric. I'm trying to look for the, let's go to the models. Let's go to the models. Let's go to the sedans. Okay, because again, I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, and we got the 2 Series, 3 Series. I'm gonna go right to the 2 Series. Okay, and I want to know the basic build on this. Starting at $41,000. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The basic BMW is $41,000, almost $42,000, and you're talking about Section 8 and EBT. Don't you know that majority of Americans do not make over $50,000, and you're owning a car that is almost more than what the basic and average American makes? Are you kidding me? No, let me just test my theory. Let me test my theory. I'm gonna go back. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. I'm gonna go to sedans again, and I'm gonna go to the 3 Series. 3 Series is $45,000. Again, okay, just for the sake of argument, as you notice, the Series 2 was the lowest grade at 41.6. Now, maybe I'm getting this wrong. Let's go into coupes, even though coupes are mostly considered, sports cars, but I'm gonna go with Series 2 again. Let's see how much this one costs. Let's see how much the basic model costs. Okay, 39.6. Okay, that's probably the cheapest BMW you're going to find. But let's round that up. You have taxes, registration, title, okay, and all other associated fees. So we're still talking about $40,000+. So again, she is absolutely incorrect on that one. Again, if you're new to Blacklogic, please hit that subscribe button. Let's move to the next segment of the broadcast, because today we're talking about no other than Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson. So every time you check caller ID, you use caller waiting, you send a fax, or connect to the internet through fiber optics cable, you're benefiting from the groundbreaking research of Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson, whose name is rarely mentioned in tech history. They're brilliant physicists who research in theoretical physics and telecommunication. She paved the way for some of the most essential communication technologies we use today. Her contributions to development of caller ID and call waiting, revolutionizing how we handle phone calls, portable fax machines making communication faster and more efficient, solar cells advancing renewable energy technology, fiber optic cables, the backbone of high-speed internet. Despite her monumental contributions, many people have never heard her name. Today, we give Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson the recognition she deserves. Born in my hometown of Washington, D.C. back in 1946, Shirley Ann Jackson displayed exceptional talent in math and science at a young age. But growing up during segregation, Black students were often discouraged from pursuing careers in science and technology. But Jackson refused to be limited, becoming one of the first Black students at MIT, earning a degree in physics. In 1973, she became the first Black woman to earn a PhD in theoretical physics from MIT, one of the first Black women to work in advanced telecommunications research, in a field where women were nearly non-existent. Dr. Jackson shattered barriers. After earning her PhD, Dr. Jackson joined Bell Labs, one of the most prestigious tech research institutes in the world. Her work in quantum physics helped advance telecommunication technology. She developed breakthrough in signal processing, leading to major innovations in communication. Her research led to major inventions in everyday technology, making global communications faster and more efficient. Thanks to Dr. Jackson's research, we now have caller ID and call waiting. And we all love caller ID. We love to see who's calling us before we answered our phone. Mr. Bill Collector, there's something wrong with my line. When I call my baby's number, I get click all the time. I'm just talking about the bill collectors. And call waiting. Can you hold on for a second? And this prevented missed calls and improving phone security. Now we know who's calling and when they calling. And these are good things so we can block them. Portable fax machines, revolutionizing document sharing in the workplace, fiber optics cables, powering the internet and high-speed communications, solar cell, advancing clean energy technology, and her innovations have changed the way people communicate, work, and connect across the world. Despite her brilliant mind and contributions, Dr. Jackson faced racism in STEM, where Black scientists were often overlooked, sexism in physics and engineering, where women were vastly underrepresented, limited opportunities, forcing her to work twice as hard to earn recognition. But she refused to back down, proving that Black women belong in science and technology. She was the first Black woman to earn a PhD in theoretical physics from MIT, becoming the first Black woman to lead a top U.S. research university, served as a chair of the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission, how this coincides with our news stories today, her being the chair of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. She continues to advocate for diversity in STEM, inspiring Black students to pursue science careers. And see, when we use the word diversity, that doesn't mean that you should get in because you are non-white. That doesn't mean that you should get in because you are a woman. It means that she's inspiring Black people to advance their careers or pursue careers in science and technology. That's it. And be great within those realms and perspective of business. That's it. Not that we should get a lift up or a step up because of our skin color and or because of us being a minority when it comes to population. Not about being less than, this is about being greater than. Because Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson's research transformed modern communication and technology, yet her name is missing from most of the history books, but not from us today. So the next time you see caller ID, you send a fax, call waiting, or you use fiber optic internet like I am today with AT&T, and that's not a promo bid, but nonetheless the truth. Or if you rely on solar energy. I want you guys to think about and remember no other than the most honorable Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson, who is still with us today. We salute you, sister, for your contributions to science, technology, engineering, and math. And we salute you for the contributions you not only made to America, but you made for the entire world. Thank you guys for joining me here this morning. This is Blacklogic.